Edit, preferences, add-ons, and type geodesic domes. So this is interesting add-on. Activate it, add mesh, and at the bottom you'll see geodesic dome. So in the beginning you just see this small triangle, but you can manipulate it. There are many presets, we'll look into it one by one, but if you increase the frequency right here, as you can see the meshes have been improved. There are a lot more geometry here. So if you increase the frequency, you will see much more geometry right here. Alright, you can play with eccentricity, radius. You can even squish it. In the shape option you have hex. Hex means hexagon, tetrahedron, and this is where it will get very interesting, because you can use it with wireframe modifier and you can just create many sci-fi stuffs or even the geometrical patterns, as you can see here, which would have been difficult otherwise. Add mesh and rock generator. So you can see this rock. Well, in the operator panel we have so many options to change the scale in the X, Y and Z axis, and within that it will basically create a new rock within itself, as you can see like this. We can also change, let me show you, we can also change the deformation, we can change the randomness, we can change the roughness, we can even change the number of rocks. So let me show you one by one how it will look. Creating a rock is actually very easy, but I will definitely suggest you to use this rock generator because it will look much more natural and it has a good topology. So now if you can see, if you change the deformation, you can see just changing little bit of deformation, it is changing the entire rock. And we have roughness as well, we have detail level as well, so you can change the detail level. Now be aware that you don't go to a very high number if your computer is not able to take it. So as you can see, you cannot, it will take time if you want to do it by yourself, so it's best to use this rock generator. You can even use the smooth factor. In the extra objects we have diamonds. So basically we have three types of diamonds, as you can see. This is the first one. In the operator panel you can change a lot many options. You can change the segments, you can change the table width, ground height, grid height, pebble in depth, and also the smooth guide option we have. So as you can see, you'll get much more control once you actually apply it. Once you will learn more when you actually use them in your projects. So this is the second type of diamond, and then we have one more after this. Go to edit, preferences. In the add-ons, activate the bolt factory. So as the name suggests, it will have basically a factory of bolt. We can manipulate the bolt. Go to mesh, and at the bottom you'll find the bolt option. As you can see, we have many options for bolt and nut, and this is very useful for mechanical engineers and architects to demonstrate their projects. So we have a lot of bit type options, we have many head options, and apart from that you can even manipulate these things. So we have shaft length, we have shaft diameter, we have thread length, major diameter, minor diameter, pinch length. So these are very useful add-ons for especially mechanical engineers. As I said, you can use it in sci-fi projects also, so just play with it, you will love it. Wall factory comes under the extra object. You can go to mesh and click on wall factory. This wall is basically made up of few cubes, as you can see, of different length and shape. So we can manipulate those cubes. As you can see, here we have start and end, we have bottom and top. We can increase or decrease the size of these cubes, we can merge them, or we can create gaps between the wall. In the wall shape you have radial and curved option. So if you do radial encode, you will see this circular wall. This is something really cool, which will take a lot of time to create. So this is pretty handy, and we can increase this window option. We can obviously increase the size, width, indent, beveling, and even the bottom and everything. So here we have shell option available. So if you play with the shell height and width, you can create a medieval type sort of monument, and you can definitely increase or decrease it. You can even choose to go either radial or curve also. We have steps at the bottom, and yes, steps also you can increase height, width, depth, and we can choose to put it left or bottom, top or bottom. We can change the direction, we can change the step types as well. So lot many options available in the wall factory. You can play with it, you can experiment with it, and I think you're going to use it a lot. Under extra object we have torus options. So we have three types of torus. This is the first one. So this is called as twisted torus, and we can increase and decrease the major radius, minor radius, major segments, minor segments, and with the twist also you can do a lot of things. I have seen somebody just created a sci-fi spaceship with this. This is the second type of torus, which looks very normal, and again we have all the edit options. Once you actually practically do it, you'll know that what you can do. So within the presets itself, we have so many options available. We can change torus to look something like this, and once you actually do it on your PC practically, you will love it. So this is the twisted torus. Again, one more. I don't know why it is used, I haven't particularly used it, but I can make a use of this with discombobulator add-on. So as you can see, this look better with the other add-on, so you can play with it. Go to add mesh, and let's say few maths function. So basically these are created by using equations. So it's like programming equations, and we have the value of x and y, and we can actually manipulate the value of x and y, and we can get many different geometry like this. So we also have few of the presets, but we can definitely change the value of x, y. Here in this case it is called as u and v. So if we change the value of u and v, we'll get different values, which can be used for many purposes like sci-fi sort of scene and rest of the things. So which will be very difficult, by the way, which will be very difficult to create by our own. So we can use this option of maths function, and yes, we can edit it afterwards. Let's see a few more maths functions here. So as you can see, we have cubes, and within this it might look very simple, but we have few presets which we can look into, and they are, look at this, there is a whole list of presets which we can directly choose from, which might take a lot of time to actually create, and we can use it for various purposes. So this sort of geometry, people use it all the times for many projects. And the good part is it is fully editable, so we can actually manipulate it in many ways. Let's see few more. So in maths function we have few more options. Now the game changes as this sort of geometry is created by equations. So these equations are hard to make, so but right now we have this possibility. We just need to change the values of x, y, and we can create something like this. We can also change the value of equation. So x and y value, if we change in the equations, we'll get a completely different geometry like this. So as you can see, we can play around with this, like it's a vast thing. So once you get used to it, once you practice it, you will get to know a lot. Let's see a few last maths functions. Now we have many presets here, so I'm going to show you, and these are like one of the few of the most complicated maths geometry. So nothing much to learn here, like basic values you can change and you can manipulate, but if you look at the geometry, it's really nice. Like a lot of these geometries can be directly used for your projects, and I want to show you especially for the beginners. I didn't know that this was part of Blender for so long, but I want you to know that this is already available in the Blender, so that you can make use of it and you can save a lot of time. You can use this geometries and all the add-ons along with your creativity so that your projects look very cool. You don't have to do a lot of hard work, but if you just fuse your creativity with these, I think the job will be 80% done. Remaining 20% will be the final touch, like the lighting and the material and everything, but the modeling part will be taken care of. If you just use them in a strategic way, then it will be very, very, very helpful. Go to add, mesh and gears. We have two types of gears. This is tooth gear and second one is the worm gear. So in the gear option, we have number of teeth, we have radius, we can change the width, we can change the base of the gear. Dendum is something, the inner circle, and addendum is the teeth length. Then there is something called as pressure angle. Mechanical engineers would know. And yes, we can increase and decrease the crown of the teeth. You can actually use this gear to actually change it, manipulate it, and make it into a sci-fi kind of scene. So yes, all these objects you can edit them in edit mode to make them even look more cool. And so this is the gear. Let's check the worm gear. So worm gear has something like this. We'll have all the options, different options actually. Number of teeth, we can increase and decrease number of rows, we can increase and decrease the height, also the crown, addendum, dedendum, pressure angle, skewness. Let's see few more extra objects. So we have so many options available. So like this is star, you can increase, decrease the height, width, inner radius and all. Let's see few more cool stuff like this pyramid. So we have many options available to change the steps, to change the number of steps, basically number of sides, initial width, height and everything. So this ready-madely available. Next up is this honeycomb structure. You can increase, decrease, and the cool part is you can actually edit it and you can extrude it so that it will look actually like a honeycomb structure. Next up is teapot and spoon. So you can use them in kitchen appliances, but we have only these two available, not many more options. But you can actually use it, you can edit it, and you can make much more utensils out of it. Then we have this cube sort of thing. Now this is called as merger sponge, but you have to be very careful. You don't increase the level too much, okay? Otherwise your computer may not be able to take it. Basically it will give square holes within the cube. Activate the line tool add-on, and as you can see by the name itself, it's very clear. It's going to align it. So you press N, you can see here we have many options of different axes: rotation, location and scale. So you just need to select object, first object, and the second object is the one which we are going to change it into, and you just need to click on the axes. If you click on all, it will completely become like that, become like the first object. So as you can see, let's say if I select this monkey and I want to convert it into the second one, I'll move it into y-axis. I'll select the y. Let's say I'm selecting everything and I want to make it to the first monkey. On the location I'll put y, on the rotation I'll put z, because I want to rotate it into z direction, and I'll select everything. I'll select the first monkey, and in the rotation I'll apply x, y, z, or I can apply all. So as you can see, every monkey is aligned now. Go to edit, preferences, and activate the Boon Tools add-on. So I have these two objects, one is this monkey and one is this cube. So let's see, press N. Here you can see auto boolean and brush boolean. Here we'll use both of them. So press monkey and then cube. So if you do difference, you can see the monkey is gone and it has left its residue. So that what difference means. But if you do union, next up is intersect. So intersect means only the cube part will remain, but which occupy the monkey. So like this, as you can see, only the monkey mouth has left, but it was a part of cube. So this is the intersect. And last one is slice. So slice means the whatever monkey part which was inside the cube will be taken and it will be carried forward, so we can actually separate it just like this. Last time we saw auto boolean, this time we'll see brush boolean. So brush boolean, as you can see, it's here, and so small cube and big cube, and we are going to use the difference. So this will act as a brush. We'll go to edit mode. If we select L on the smaller cube, we can actually move it and we can actually duplicate it. If we do shift D like this, and we can actually move it over the bigger cube. And if we go back to edit mode, you can see there are differences created, basically holes created, and this is not limited to the small cube. We can use any object. Same thing is union, and same thing is intersect and slice. This is a good one. Go to edit, preferences, and click on the extra objects, add curve, not add object. Select both the cubes, go to add curve, and come down to knots and then catenary. So in this option, as you can see, this is a basically a hanging wire sort of thing, but you can edit it. You have many options here. As you can see in the operators panel, you can extrude it, you can increase the thickness, you can increase the radius, you can increase the resolution, and you can increase the tilt as well. You can even turn this into a plane sort of thing, but generally people use this to make it a hanging wire cable sort of thing. So this is very useful for your projects. Switch on the Carver add-on and select the cube and press Shift Ctrl X. You will have the cut type of rectangle, so you just need to draw the rectangle over the cube, and you can see it will cut through the cube just like this. If you want to change the cut type, just press space bar. So from rectangle you can go to line, and you can cut like this with line option. So you will have something like this. And if you want, there is one more cut option which is called a circle, so you can even cut through like a circle. So you just need to draw upon the object. It's good to have a top view, bottom view, side view, but it is not, this add-on is not limited to that. So you can even cut through sideways also, just like this. So it will have this sort of effect. So for hard surface modeling, you can use this free add-on. It's very useful. Activate the iVision add-on here. So IV is basically kind of bushes. So for this you need a plane, and if you press N, you will have this IV generator option. You just need to activate it. So we have so many options here, like a lot many options. We have different leaves option. We can actually increase the scale of this like this, and people have been actively using this particular add-on for giving the tree, bushes kind of effect. Even if you remove the leaves, you will have this kind of stem that is crawling on the walls and all. So this IV Gen, you must definitely experiment with a lot of things, not only with walls, with many projects. Activate the scatter object add-on from edit preferences. So as the name suggests, we are going to scatter anything. So let's see how to use it. Press N, and as you can see in the tool, you will see this many options. You can decide density, radius, randomness, and press F3 and click on scatter object and just draw it. So the moment you draw it, you can see the objects are being scattered randomly like this. You can even choose to delete the plane, but this add-on is not limited to plane. You can draw on anything. Let's say if you have a rough surface, and if you can use this add-on. There are other ways to scatter objects, but this is a very quick and effective way. In the add-ons, activate the measure it add-on. Press N, and in the view you will find the add-on here. You need to be in edit mode to basically use it. And as you can see, there are a lot many options of area. So if I selected this particular plane, if I click on the area, it will basically show me the area of the plane, and I can change the color of this area of this plane. Basically I can, if I go to edge and if I select the edge, it will show me the length of the edge from midpoint. from y-axis to x-axis to z-axis. It's good for the concept artist also, and especially mechanical engineers and architects, to quickly show and demonstrate the units. We can even check the angle between the three vertices. If I select the vertices, three vertices we have to select, and if I click on the angle, it will show me the angle between the three vertices like this. Go to edit, preferences, and type real snow. So if you activate the real snow add-on, as the name suggests, it will basically create snow. Press N, and in the real snow option here, you can just put the coverage and height, and if you put add snow, you will see it has basically created a mesh of snow. You can keep on playing with the coverage and height. So once you are satisfied, you can click on the click snow option. For the sake of simple example, I have used this monkey head. Otherwise you can use this add-on anywhere, like on the houses, or if you are creating a scene where you need a lot of snow. This is one of the coolest add-on. So it is called as ANT landscapes. So let's explore this. Go to add mesh, and at the bottom at the last you will see landscape. You click on this and immediately you can see this cool mountain sort of mesh. We have much more option. If you open the operator panels, you have so many options available here to change it. We have offsets, we have dimensions, we have height, obviously we have width and everything, but we have presets. We have already so many presets, like the rocks, we have canyons like this. So you can right away you can start implementing this, and you can build on this, which is already pre-made for you, and you can actually learn a lot from this meshes which is already pre-installed. So how about the topology and about the dimensions and everything, you can manipulate this, you can add your touch to it, and I think you should explore this. It has many options, like this volcano. You can add lights and material to it, and it will look super cool. Let's see a few more landscapes that I couldn't show you last time. As you can see, there are many options available for landscape for your projects. You can start right away, you can learn from them, and you can even edit it much more. Go to edit, preferences, add-on, and activate Archimesh. Press N, and you will see in the create option you will have Archimesh. You can create a wall like this. You will have wall option. You can create many walls. You can increase the thickness like this, and you can increase the height also like this. Now you can see this wall. Now in order to increase the number of walls, you can just click on the number of walls and you can put the number. As you can see, it's an L kind of shape, so you need to reverse the direction by putting -4. So if you put -4, it will come back. Again, in the fourth wall you have to put -4. So now we have a basic wall. In the advanced, if you click, you have curved option, so you can make a curved wall like this. You can increase the steps like this. Now if you come to top, if you scroll in the panel here, you'll see ceiling and floor also. So you can create ceiling as well. Let me show you the floor first. The yellow one is the floor, first one is the ceiling. And the good thing is, you can even after this you can edit them in edit mode. So if you are not happy, if you want to increase the thickness or anything, you can do so in the edit mode. Next up, we have example to add doors. As you can see, in order to move any object here in Archimesh, you have to grab the empty axis at the bottom, as you can see, and you can grab it and you can move it wherever you want to. In the doors, if you come to the top, let me add one more door and show you. In the panel here at the top, you have door option. You have different presets as well, so there are different models. As you can see, model 1, model 2, model 3. We have single door, double door, and many designs, as you can see. Obviously, we can change the frame height, frame thickness, frame width, and everything. Similarly, we can add the windows as well. So in the windows also, as you can see here, there are many models available: double door, single door, right, left sort of thing. We can move it with the axis, empty axis. We can grab it and move it. So you don't have to do much about it, you just need to locate it. We also have a big panel window, as you can see here. We can grab it and move it, so it looks cool, though we don't have much option to change the model of this window, but yes, we have this option. Let's see the cabinet option. As you can see on the floor, you can change with the operator panel. There are two types of cabinet we can see, on the floor and on the wall. But within the cabinet as well, we have so many presets. As you can see, models, double door, single door, so there are like few 10-11 models here. In the type, we can choose to do it on the floor or on the wall like this. You can always change the width and height of this cabinet. Next up is the shelves. With shelves also, you can change the number of shelves that you need, the number of units, or obviously you can change the height and width. And I think we have two types of models here, so there are a lot many options to play around. Next up, let's see the roof. Alright, so we have, if you press N, we have roof here. So there are four types of roof available in the Archimesh. So this is the first, this is the second, this is third, and this is the fourth. Yes, we can change the scale, we can change the segments, we can change the units, we can change the X and Y dimension of this, and we can also change the slopes of the roof. Let's see stairs now. So we just have two options for stairs, rectangular and circular. So we have basic option in the stairs. We can increase the width, we can increase the height and depth, we can increase the number of steps. Yeah, we can also increase, we can choose to change the thickness. Very basic, but yeah, quick to use. We don't have to spend a lot of time, but yes, we can edit it in edit mode. Let's see props now. So we have few props available here. In the books, nothing much to edit, like we can change the number of books, height, randomness, but the good thing is we can change the rotation. So if we give a little bit of rotation, it will look very natural like this. It won't look like a square box sitting up there. Next up is lamp. So in the lamp also we have few presets. We have 4 different presets, as you can see in the background. So I'll show you a few. So like this, we have few presets. You can definitely edit them afterwards, but yeah, this is lamp for you, and you can change the dimension of the lamp, like height, width. Next up we have Venetian. We don't have much to edit in this. We can change the color though, but yeah, same thing. You can change the angle, height and width. We have rolling curtains as well. So pre-made rolling curtains, you can use it wherever you want. And the last one is Japanese curtains, which you can pull the ropes and will have this opening and closing effect. You can use them in animation as well, but yeah, this is Archimesh and ready to mate for your project. Go to edit, preferences, add-on, and activate that try lighting add-on. This is one of the most popular add-on that is being frequently used by many users of Blender. Go to add, and in the light option at the bottom you'll see try lighting, and we have again many options, height, distance, but the best thing would be you can individually edit them. You can click on the light and you will have the light editing option. You can increase the volt, power, color. These 3 lights have been arranged in such a way that it will give a nice effect to the scene along with the shadows and everything. and we also have a ready-made camera in this, so you just need to adjust the light and it is ready to be rendered. Activate the Loop Tools add-on, and right now I have this plane which is subdivided, duplicating the vertices and edges like this, and I'm selecting the original ones. If I go to right click Loop Tools, and if I do the bridge, so you can see we have option of bridge, and we can change the segments, we can change the percentage of the segments just like this, and we can even change the strength. Next up, I'm selecting one vertices, and I'm selecting Ctrl plus to increase the area of selection. Again, right click Loop Tools and circle, so it will have the circle, it will turn it into a circle, the entire area. And then we can do loft. If you do the loft option, it will just cut away the planes. Next up, we'll see about the curve. So right click Loop Tools, and if you do curve, you'll see it is connected like this. Now you might ask, it's not curve, so I'm going to select one more vertex, and you can see. Let's see what flatten can do. So edit mode, I'm going to select the top part of this sphere, right click and flatten. So as you can see, the name suggests it will just flatten the curve. That's all. Loop Tools and flatten. So I'm going to insert this cube just like this, and right click Loop Tools and loft. It will cut through the cube, and basically it's a hole. For creating a circular selection, you need to subdivide this cube, so I am subdividing it, selecting few area, and this time right click Loop Tools and circle. It will convert it into circle, and then if you do loft, it will just cut through. Okay, but let's say we have something like this, and if we do the circle, then it will, this is another way to make hole within the cube. Basically I have just extruded it and inserted it little bit, and then I'm going to right click Loop Tools and loft. So you can see it has cut through the entire object. Activate the Self Fracture add-on from the preferences, and now as the name suggests, you can go to Object, Quick Effect and Self Fracture. So in this option we can actually crack the entire object. We'll have many options here, but mostly we'll be using the service limit. Service limit basically will decide how many pieces you need to break it. It will have two objects, one is the original one within this one, and one is the fractured one. You can separate these two, or you can even delete the original one, but this is very much useful while animating. So I have a tutorial on how to destroy things with by using this one also, so I'll show you later on. But basically Self Fracture kind of destroy your objects, and it will have a cool effect of, you know, if you want something like a debris, or if you want some ruined or haunted house sort of thing. So this is the fractured icosphere from the last tutorial, and I have taken a small sphere also. So I'm going to select the fractured sphere, and I'm going to give it a rigid body active object. And if you come down here at the deactivation, you have to click on the start deactivated. It's very important right now to animate things. Then go to object, go to rigid bodies and copy from active. Click on smaller sphere, go to apply and apply rotation scale. It's very important. Now let's select the smaller one and give it a rigid body. This time we're going to give it a passive body. In the settings we have to click the animated, so basically it will not free fall like a gravity one. Unless we move it, it won't free fall. So activate the timeline, and the moment we move this, you can see the self fractured object has been destroyed. So you can play with it, you can apply the self fracture add-on to any object, and you can use the settings that I have shown you, and you can make this cool sort of effect. You can manipulate the rigid body properties like its weight and everything and bounciness, so you'll have different effects. Extra object is the treasure of add-ons, so you should always keep it on. Go to mesh. In the mesh will have all the option. In the extras you can start with beam builder. So this is very much useful for the civil engineers, architects who want to demonstrate their projects. We have different profile for the beams. As you can see in the presets, we have U shape, C shape, I shape, T shape, and even L shape. And yes, we can, as always, we can increase and decrease the width, we can increase and decrease the depth and height also. And there is option of changing the taper as well. So if you can see in this I section, if I increase the number of taper, you'll see the taper section being increased or decreased. And thickness, yes, so depending upon your projects you can choose to do that and manipulate that. Very much useful add-on. Activate the sapling tree generator. Basically this is the add-on, add curve and sapling tree generator. So you can see this basically, this will create trees. And if you go to the operator panel, you will have so many presets here. We'll look into it one by one, but let me show you a few of the examples that we already have right now. Now you can change and manipulate the custom shape. It's not limited to what they have given. As you can see, we can change the branch, we can change the branch rings, we can change the we can increase the seeds as well. And if you see few more examples, you can see here the changes in the trees. You can increase the stem, you can increase the roots. Let's see few more options. If you want to activate leaves, you have to click on the show leaves, and you can increase or decrease the number of leaves. You can change the leaves shape like this. Within the leaves itself, you have so many options. As you can see here, you can change the shape, you can change the rotation of the leaves. And if you come down here, if you see the presets, you have so many options. As you can see, for different seasons we have different trees and ready-made trees for your projects. So you can use it either in your projects, or you can even take it as a case study and you can learn from it, and you can change this settings and you can play with it. Go to edit preferences and activate discombobulator. So discombobulator basically will add up more faces to it and give little bit of height, and height can be increased or decreased depending upon your preferences. So in this plane, if I subdivide it and if I apply the discombobulator, it will look something like this. So nothing much to explain here. You can increase or decrease the height, you can increase and decrease the taper mostly, and you can actually do this in edit mode and object mode both. So now I have so many objects right now, but one by one I am going to show you how it can be used. So as you can see, we have seen on the plane, now we'll see it on the cube. It works better if we have more faces. So if we subdivide any object, it will work much more better. We'll have much more details like this. But be careful, don't overdo it like this, otherwise your PC might get hanged. But this is a cool feature to, especially for the sci-fi stuff, spaceship stuff, this can be used a lot. Now the only thing is, you cannot use it on triangular faces. So in the quads you can use, but in the icosphere and cone you cannot use it. So the faces should be quads.